under 482 challenges, my lord, to the cognizance taken by the concerned court, my lord, with regard to offences under the Forest Act and, my lord, Wildlife Act. Now, the facts, my lord, before your lordship sees the other material, my lord, the petitioner in before your lordships, my lord.
सर वो शॉर्ट सिनॉप्सिस फाइल हो गया क्या?
जी, ये फाइल तो नहीं हुआ.
हाँ दे दीजिए मेरे को.
The court heard us on the first day, my lord, and the state took time. Then the court said that we'll consider interim if it is not heard finally, because it was heard considerably, my lord. And then on the last day, my lord, that synopsis issue came, my lord.
जी sir.
Now, my lord, the basic facts, my lord, are that the present petitioner, my lord, is a senior officer working with a private company, my lord, having a cement industry. He is a land acquisition officer, my lord. I'm just giving the basic background facts, my lord, leading to this present complaint under the Forest and the Wildlife Act. My lord, certain lands were acquired by the company through the state government. They were in occupation of certain persons. The collector LAO determined the compensation, granted us entry permission under 247 of MPLR code. We entered the mining area. As a result, those persons who were living in hutments and all, they were asked to move out of the mining area. They went out and settled beyond our mining area in whatever place it was available. That turned out to be a forest area. So they there cut down the shrubs, built up their own hutments, and during some forest officers' inspection, my lord, it was found that that land, my lord, was a forest land. We have no concern, my lord. We paid them compensation, deposited before the collector. Collector released the compensation to them. Some took, some did not. Some are contesting for their enhancement of compensation. So when they were moved out of the mining area, my lord, they settled in some government land. Forest officials found that it was a forest land. That led to, my lord, registration of a forest FIR against those persons, my lord, who are dwelling in the forest areas by making small hutments. Thereafter, my lord, complete investigation was done. A notice was issued to the concerned persons, my lord, that charge sheet is being filed. You have to be present before that date. Present petitioner was nowhere in picture, not involved. Somehow, charge sheet was not filed on that day. After a few days, a couple of months, my lord, another notice was issued to the all concerned accused persons that charge sheet is to be filed on the particular day. Then also, I was not available, my lord. I was not involved in any of I was not made accused. No issues, my lord. Thereafter, my lord, the concerned IO, my lord, he started inquiring into the company, my lord. He found out who is the officer involved in mining. He found that this person has been transferred. Their statement was taken. Another officer's statement was taken. Then they found who is the person who was involved in land acquisition. My statements were taken. I was cross-examined. 161, one could understand, but I was cross-examined under 161 that I have filed.
By whom?
The concerned forest official. Cross-examination. I said, I am a land acquisition officer. I have nothing to do with it. I am working in a private company. These persons have settled on their own in a forest area.
How that situation arose, sir, and why that situation arose?
That is the malafide also we have alleged categorically, my lord. Now, why I am pointing out that in the two notices for filing challan, I was not there. Then they started...
Nagaraj, a word of caution, sir.
Yeah.
You are alleging malafides. Look at the cause title.
Yes, my lord.
Then take a decision whether you would like...
It could be a malice in law. Lordship would take it in malice in law then, my lord.
What, that is my prerogative.
Yes,
sir.
That's what I'm saying.
So, so it is your decision whether to proceed further with
I'll proceed on malice in law, my lord.
Oh, that will be the ultimate conclusion.
Yes, I can see what is coming. That once alleging malafide, there has to be the cause title.
मुझे इतना पता है. I should not non-suit a person.
Yes.
Just a minute. Non-suit a person on day one on the ground of absence of necessary.
Very well. So
unless and until a person, the litigant or the plaintiff or the petitioner is.
And I go down to that preposition, my lord. Lordship may not expand that, my lord. I have on the first word of your lordship, I have said yes.
नागराज जी, आप लोगों का हम फायदा क्यों उठाते हैं? क्योंकि जो हम बोल रहे हैं, अगर मैं गलत हूं तो लीगली आप उसको ठीक भी कर देंगे, और अगर आप उसको एंडोर्स करेंगे तो देन इट इज फॉर द बेनिफिट ऑफ
प्रॉब्लम है आप गलत होते नहीं है सर.
It is for the benefit
that is
of
the-
your.
That is our
That is not a
our
problem, sir.
predicament, my lord.
It is
The
for-
moment your lordship said once you are alleging malafide, I got
No.
what your lordship is saying. So I'll take it on a
मैं
malice in law, my lord.
नमन नागराज जी को इतना elaborately क्यों बोल रहा हूँ?
जी,
Let me explain.
my lord.
I know everything, sir, but sometimes I utilize this opportunity,
To remind the lawyers also, my lord.
not remind, to upgrade their knowledge,
Very well.
right? Sometimes, sir, a beginner is sitting, a seasoned lawyer is sitting,
Yes.
right?
That is how they learn, my lord.
And that is, I am concerned about the beginners,
Very well.
right?
Very well.
If a lawyer who is aware of the legal position, if I enter into a discussion and ultimately if the lawyer also says, yes, you are right, sir,
It's a
it
healthy
will
discussion.
give some teaching, some lesson to the beginners without any efforts on their part.
Then it
Or-
is a healthy discussion. That is what I'm
Yes.
saying, my lord. Yes, my lord. That would
Don't
happen.
take
my
it.
lord.
Don't take it that I am trying to teach you.
No.
I am trying. I am trying to point out the law to the lawyers and to the persons who are listening
Yes.
or watching the proceedings.
Yes, sir.
Because during my junior days, I used to keep a notebook with me. I used to note down the judgments which are cited by the parties, because at that time I was not in a position to understand the proposition of law which was being argued. For an early beginner, sir, it is very difficult to understand the text. But it is very easy to note down the judgments. And then I used to go back to the office. पढ़ते थे, समझते थे, नहीं समझ में आता था, सीनियर से पूछते थे. And that is how I learned.
Everybody learns like that.
Right.
Everybody.
So my only habit is of entering into a discussion with a seasoned lawyer, not senior lawyer. मैं उसमें और नहीं करना चाहता. So that if I am wrong, I will be corrected. If I am endorsed, then at least your colleagues will realize who are the beginners. I'm not saying that the seasoned lawyers, the beginner. I'm concentrating on beginners.
Yes.
And that is how the bar would improve.
Very well, my lord. That is a great effort, my lord. We
So
would
don't take
put on
it.
to that.
Don't take it.
No, I never take it.
I'm trying to teach you. No, sir.
We know when your
अगर
lordship,
मैंने मेरा एक
when your
सेंटेंस
lordship comments something, my lord, that is for a purpose. We know that, my lord.
अगर मेरा पहले सेंटेंस में आपने कहा यस सर, तो यंगर्स वुड नॉट हैव लर्न कि भाई इसका व्हाई यू हैव सेड यस.
Elaboration was necessary, my lord. That's
I utilize this time for their, not
Benefit.
for their benefit, for the upgrading and uplifting the bar.
very well, my lord.
And we cannot do without telling them what the law is, so that they can go home, they can search, and then they will keep it in mind for years to come. यार जहाँ पे भी allegation लगाया है, otherwise sir, it is very easy for me to cite 5-6 judgment and say that since the party has not been impleted, therefore I cannot consider it at all.
Very well. That's correct.
That was the intention.
Very well, my lord.
And secondly, I know also one more thing. I should not non-suit a person on day one without giving an option, sir,
To represent himself, my lord, to defend himself.
to decide whether he wants to go ahead with the allegations without implementing, or day one पे हम necessary party के absence में नहीं खारिज कर सकते unless and until you decide, okay, I will go ahead with this. Then you have to face the music. That is all.
Yes.
So that's why I gave the second option.
No, I am proceeding ahead, my lord. Because-
Right.
Yes. Now, my lord, I was pointing out to your lordships, my lord, there were 2 notices issued for submission of charge sheet in which the present petitioner was not involved as an accused. Thereafter, my lord, the authorities or the investigating persons, my lord, they turned towards the company, my lord. They found out, my lord, who were the officers involved in the affairs of the company. Ultimately, my lord, they zeroed on the land acquisition officer. I was called. I was cross-examined, my lord. And even when, my lord, nothing turned out, even after my cross-examining by the authority, my lord, the investigating authority, for which, my lord, there is apparently no provision in law to do that. At best, they could record a statement. My lord, they caught hold of a chance witness and took his statement. And based on his statement, now, my lord, the present applicant has been arraigned as an accused, my lord.
So
Now-
what is the name of that chance witness, sir?
My lord, that is one Atal Bihari Pandey, Annexure 18, at page 79, my lord. This is the affidavit, A14, my lord, I'm sorry, page 161. Page
Ji, sir.
72, my lord, I stand corrected, my lord.
Ji, sir.
The statement of that Atal Bihari Pandey is at page 72.
Mhm.
Recorded at lunch time. Initially FIR. Now, this statement is recorded, my lord, on 16/5/23, after almost 6 months and after concluding the investigation and submitting notice, my lord, for submitting the charge sheet for filing in before the
After
court.
6 months of FIR.
Yes, my lord.
Mhm.
Now, my lord, these are the basic facts, my lord. Now, my lord, lordship would kindly see, my lord, what is the actual nature of allegation, my lord.
Mhm.
I'll take your lordships, my lord, through the documents, my lord. Now, the charge sheet, my lord, is at page 34.
Mhm.
My lord, before I read the entire charge sheet, my lord, I would request your lordship, my lord, to kindly come to the next annexure, my lord, as to the land acquisition process, my lord, pursuant to which and in compliance thereof, those forest dwellers had shifted out.
Sir, the only allegation is no allegation with regard to the LA proceedings. The only allegation is that after their displacement, you were instigating them to encroach upon the forest land. That is all. So let us confine to that.
Yes.
Because the previous aspect is undisputed. Nobody has challenged that the earlier proceedings were wrongly held. Nothing of that sort.
Yes.
Atal Bihari Pandey ji has merely stated that while he was passing through that area, he found that various tribals were constructing their huts, and he also found that you were standing over there along with your security personnel, and you were instigating the tribals by promoting the construction of huts in the forest department with a further assurance that in case if the forest officials come to the place, then they should not get afraid and they should stay over there. और जो भी मदद होगी मैं करूंगा बस these are the basic allegations against
Only, my lord, not basic. Only.
naturally.
Yes. That is the
Now
only.
now how you will come out of these allegations?
My lord, in order to come out of these allegations, my lord, lordship would see the entire allegations in the complaint and the charge sheet in totality. My lord.
Hmm.
The allegation is, my lord, that certain persons settled in a forest area,
Hmm.
and who were those persons who were awarded compensation by the company for acquisition of their lands determined by the collector.
Hmm.
The company deposited the check of 4 or 5 crores, my lord, that is also on record, my lord, collectively as annexure 4. We have filed the permission of the collector, my lord, under 240/57 of MPLR code to enter the mining area and start mining, my lord.
Hmm.
So the point which I am trying to raise before your lordship says, my lord, accepting, my lord, all the allegations in totality, except for that chance statement, my lord, recorded after 6 months. The question before your lordships would be, my lord, whether this would lead to any prosecution of the present applicant, my lord. We are not holding the brief for those forest dwellers who settled and cut down some trees in the forest area and made their hutmates.
Hmm.
So, totality of situation and that chance witness, my lord, he has filed his affidavit at annexure 18, page 79.
Hmm.
Lordship would see that also, my lord. Page 79 is his affidavit
Hmm.
saying that मेरे से खाली कागज पे दस्तखत करा लिए थे.
Sir, I can also take a view that you are trying to win over the witnesses. Number one.
Yes.
Number two, affidavit by itself cannot be treated as
Defense or something in
not defense as a gospel truth because it is at the most it is a statement on oath made before the notary or the oath commissioner, whosoever the person is. But without cross examination, I cannot rely on this.
Yes. I go down to that, my lord. I'm just trying to, my lord, satisfy your lordships that even that so-called witness, my lord, who was caught hold, my lord,
What
I would
prompted this
respectfully state-
witness to come forward and submit an affidavit? Whether you approach this witness or he all of a sudden, अरे नहीं नहीं सब बहुत बुरा हो गया.
It could have been either way, my lord. But in
It
any
could
case,
have been either.
he has filed an
Just a
affidavit.
minute. मेरा इतना
Well, one more thing, my lord, before your lordship, my lord, kindly permit me. My lord, we have filed an IA. He has sworn an affidavit even directly before this honorable court by IA number
इसको
116.
क्या इंटरेस्ट है सर?
Interest ये है कि
इसको क्या इंटरेस्ट है?
no, my lord,
That
he
he is running from pillar to post just to file an affidavit कि सर ऐसा हो गया, ऐसा हो गया. Why can't he wait for the trial and then depose before the trial court?
Lord, once somebody realizes that on his statement
Then
recorded,
who is bearing the expenses of coming down to Jabalpur?
no, it has been sworn at there only, my lord.
At their own.
Yeah, there only.
That
But he has not.
means so far as the possibility of winning over the witness is ruled out. Now, let us concentrate on the another possibility, whether I can rely on this affidavit without cross-examination. This is a statement only
Yes.
on oath.
Yes.
That is all.
My lord, all would depend if on, my lord, entire facts and entire allegations,
That's a
my lord,
different aspect. That is a different aspect.
my lord, keeping that
Your
in view,
contention.
my lord, keeping that overall facts in mind, my lord, if your lordship finds that this stray witness recorded after 6 months, my lord, after submitting 2 notices for filing charge sheet before the court in which the applicant was not impleted, none from the company was impleted because we had no role, no business in that. We deposit compensation before the collector and it is for the collector. He gives the permission to enter the land and they have admittedly, my lord, gone out and settled outside.
Sir, which is that permission, sir?
Yes.
Annexure.
Annexure 4, my lord. Annexure 4, my lord. My lord, page 40. This is the permission, my lord, given by the company.
इसमें कोई permission है to evict the persons who are already residing there?
My lord, page 41 is the collector's order, my lord, entry permission, my lord, and to deposit the amount of compensation.
To remove them, to evict them.
My lord, that can only
Whether
be the,
that permission is there?
my lord, page 48, my lord.
48.
That is the order of the collector under 247(5) of the MPLR code authorizing us to enter the land, my lord, and start mining process. But nonetheless, my lord, allegation is not that they have been wrongly evicted.
No, sir. ऐसा नहीं है, sir. ऐसा नहीं है. It can be interpreted in another manner also. That is, in order to ensure the eviction, you provided an alternative accommodation to them by instigating them to encroach upon the government land. Then,
notice letter to the collector.
sir, अगर उनको compensation मिल भी गया था, then for evicting a person, whether you should have adopted the procedure under Public Premises Eviction Act, or you should have, or you could have thrown them out.
Well, it is nobody's complaint that they were.
Sir, we are. I'm trying to analyze the entire thing.
Yes, yes.
Once there was no, नहीं, मैं एक question.
जी.
प्रश्न आया मन में पूछ लिया sir. If a person has encroached, once the mining area was allotted to you, or once you were given the permission to enter upon that area, now any encroachment over that piece of area or any possession would be an encroachment, right, sir? Encroachment of a land belonging to you?
Yes, provided that despite order don't move out.
Right.
Provided.
Naturally.
If they voluntarily move out.
No, that's what I'm saying. अगर वो नहीं voluntarily जाते
नहीं, but वो अगर के लिए एक वर्ड तो होना चाहिए.
अरे अगर के साथ मगर भी लगाएंगे, आप चिंता करना चाहिए. अगर वो नहीं जाते voluntarily तो आपके पास क्या options थे?
ये situation आई नहीं इसलिए.
सर वैसे
we request the collector to evict them, my lord.
तो Public Premises Eviction Act पे जाता?
Under maybe, my lord, MPLR code some provision or
248 तो हो नहीं सकता था because it was already allotted to you.
Yes.
Either 250 of MPLR code or a Public Premises Eviction Act.
Either of the two.
No such proceedings took place.
That means they moved out voluntarily, my lord. Now, my lord, why I am saying so? Why I am saying so, my lord? One, that nobody says, my lord, anywhere that they were compelled to move out, my lord, and that is not the allegation even by them. Why I am saying so? Why I am saying so? Lordship may take up IA 11666 of 24 because it's mentioned in the charge sheet also, my lord, that they had applied to the collector for giving the settlement rights over that forest area.
Mm.
That page 4 is their application, my lord, signed by 30-40 people, my lord, more than that, my lord, about 50 people, my lord, requesting the collector, my lord, to grant them forest settlement rights because they want
That is not possible, sir.
No, that may not be possible, but to satisfy your lordships that they move.
Why I'm saying so not possible? Because that act came in 2006 and it was only in respect of the persons who are already in possession of the forest land on or before commencement of that act.
Yes, the recognition of the forest rights.
Right.
Yes, I'm aware.
Now, everything transpired much after 2006. So nobody can ask for the forest rights merely
given
because
to them after that act.
After that act.
My lord, I am not requesting your lordships or my lord,
No,
issue is not to decide whether they had any right or not, to show the bona fides that
आपने बोला, हमने जवाब दे दिया, फिर आप कहते हैं आप हमसे डिसाइड नहीं करवाना चाहते, तो बता क्यों रहे हो?
नहीं, ये issue कि whether they had a legal right to get the forest.
I'm not on that issue. I'm not on that issue.
I'm only showing the bona fides that they moved
not out. Bona fide. This is what I'm saying. It is not bona fide.
Very well, my lord. Their application, my lord, filed before the collector for giving them some settlement area. Now, that is a forest land or a non-forest land, that is for the collector maybe to have decided it. But to show bona fides that upon acquisition of land, number one, upon grant of compensation to them, upon collector's permission under 247(5), they moved out, settled somewhere outside, my lord, we are not concerned. Right. They applied to collector, my lord, 50 persons giving their applications, my lord, to the collector, asking for some land to settle. Now, whether that land was a forest land, whether under 1916 Act they could have been done, that is not the issue, my lord, which I am trying to canvass. I am just trying to show that they moved out, even approached the collector, but somehow, my lord, settled in some area, which the forest officials found to be a forest area, my lord. Now, in that background, what I am requesting your lordships to consider is, my lord, that after the investigation is over, after the charge sheet is prepared to be filed, notice is issued to be present before the court, once, twice, thrice, and then, my lord, company officials gradually being implicated, they could find that these persons have been transferred. One person, my lord, the applicant before it.
Mela fide. Again, on the question of mela fide.
My lord, the concept.
How can you say that it is a malice in law?
My lord, because, as I say again,
as per your summations, what I could realize is you want to convey that with an intention to rope in the company somehow. This was done by
facts show that, my lord. In fact,
we'll speak around. How it can be a malice in law?
My lord, in fact, if your lordship asks me, my lord, your lordship should be putting a question to the investigating authority as what led you not to file a charge sheet.
You have not allowed me to.
No, what I am saying is, my lord,
you have not allowed me to put this question to the investigating officer.
I am not saying that, my lord. What I am respectfully submitting is, rather than, my lord, whether this person shifted or not, whether the company was sought to be implemented or not.
Namanji, this could have been answered by the IO.
That's what I'm saying.
And you have not allowed the IO to be implemented. So how can I put a question to the investigating officer? He is not here. No, I will not adjourn the matter.
My lord,
but you are right that I should have put a question to the IO.
Not to the IO. To the prosecution agency.
Prosecution agency को represent कौन करेगा?
Every infirmity in prosecution
agency को represent कौन करेगा? IO. Whether the IO is to be examined in the trial or not. Whether questions are put to the IO कि तुमने ऐसा क्यों किया, ऐसा क्यों नहीं किया, ये क्यों किया, वो क्यों नहीं किया, and whether the trial is decided on the basis of deeds, misdeeds, and actions and non-actions of the IO or not. He is the only person who has to answer.
Milord,
you are right, sir.
I can only say.
Sir, you are right.
I can only say one thing, Milord.
Namanji, let me explain my thinking about this case. So far as this person is concerned, he has no personal interest in the entire episode. Your applicant.
Cannot.
I'm not talking about IO.
Yes.
Right? Now, IO has done some certain things with a malafide intention to rope in the officials of the company or not. This could have been answered by IO. इसीलिए मैंने आपसे शुरुआत में
Milord,
पूछा,
even if, Milord,
पर आपने मेरे से वो अपॉर्चुनिटी छीन ली।
नहीं, मैं तो उस पे आई एम नॉट गोइंग बैक ऑन दैट, मिलॉर्ड।
नहीं, मैं आपसे क्या कह रहा हूँ,
आई एम नॉट गोइंग
मैं
बैक।
आपसे क्या कह रहा हूँ, मेरा जो बेसिक व्यू है अबाउट द केस, नॉट अबाउट द एलिगेशंस। अगर आपने उसको भगाया भी है, दैट इज इन द इंटरेस्ट ऑफ द कंपनी, नॉट फॉर योर पर्सनल इंटरेस्ट। लेट अस assume as worst as it is possible that you forcibly drive them out of the mining area and you forcibly compel them to settle down in a forest area. But whether it was for your personal interest, no, it was for the interest of the, it was in the interest of the company. तो ये वो कैसा केस नहीं है जिसमें अपरेंट एलिगेशंस ऐसे दिखते हों, पर मुझे डेप्थ में जाने के लिए आपने अपॉर्चुनिटी हमसे छीन ली।
Milord, even if, Milord, your lordships do not consider it strictly in terms of malafide, Milord.
सर आपका पूरा आपका एलिगेशन यही आ रहा है।
No, Milord.
Your line of contention is ultimately after narrating the facts. पहले